As we approach the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals have a unique situation. Holding the number 4 overall selection, they will certainly have an opportunity to draft a franchise caliber player. Fans are already sold on a certain prospect, but if he's not available, the team will have to look in a different direction, which is exactly what I'll be talking about today. As we continue the draft coverage on this channel, I thought that it would be fitting to discuss 4 different scenarios as to what the Arizona Cardinals should do at the 4th overall pick. Before we begin, if you enjoy the video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. Scenario number 1. It's not very often you get a chance to draft a generational receiver. For the Cardinals, it's been 20 years. It's no secret that the team needs help at the position, which is exactly why most Cardinals fans are already sold on the idea of landing wide receiver out of Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. The prospect of snagging a generational talent to pair him with Kyler Murray would be lethal, and the last time Arizona drafted a receiver in the top 10, it was none other than Larry Fitzgerald, a man who revolutionized what it meant to be a Cardinal. Not only has Marv drawn comparisons to the greatest player in franchise history, but he's also earned Larry's blessing. Harrison Jr. is the dream player for the Cardinals. We all know his story by now. Son of the Hall of Fame Colts receiver Marvin Harrison, Jr. has been able to live up to his high expectations at every level, including Ohio State, winning the Biletnikoff Award for the best receiver in college football. It's now time for Maserati Marv to become a part of the Bird Gang. He'll make an instant impact on this offense. You've already got Greg Dortch, Michael Wilson, and Trey McBride, who all showed great growth last season. And despite the fact there are rumors of Hollywood Brown returning, even if that's the case, the receiver room does need improvement. And you can't go wrong with taking a Heisman finalist and the man who many believe to be the greatest receiver to ever come out of Ohio State. However, the New England Patriots remain an obstacle ahead of the Cardinals. It is rumored that they will select a quarterback at number 3 overall. However, a lot can change from now to the draft, which is why Arizona needs to be prepared if Harrison is off the board, which brings us to scenario number 2. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU, would likely be the number 1 guy in the class if it weren't for Marvin Harrison Jr. Ranked number 4 on PFF's big board, what Neighbors did this year was incredible. At just 20 years old, he was the top-ranked receiver in college football out of 1,022 qualified, according to Pro Football Focus. By no means would this be settling for second best. Neighbors is still a gem that the Cardinals would be lucky to have. However, one concern is height. We heard all year that Arizona's receiving core was too small, with the likes of Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore, and Greg Dortch. Neighbors stands at 6 feet tall. The addition of Michael Wilson last year would make this an acceptable selection. However, I think the Cardinals would still need to target a bigger frame receiver in free agency if they were to draft Malik Neighbors. Neighbors would be a great option at pick 4. Some experts have him 1A, 1B alongside Harrison Jr. However, the Cardinals could look in a different direction position-wise if they were to stick and pick, bringing us to scenario number 3. As the Cardinals look to improve their offensive line, they may once again turn to building the trenches in the top 10. There is no better year to add to the offensive line than this one. Although the tackle class is deep, there are arguably 2 generational players that could be paired opposite to Paris Johnson Jr. I know it's not a flashy, exciting pick that Cardinals fans are going to be able to jump out of their seat for. One of Joe Alt or Alou Fashanu would allow Arizona to have the best tackle duo in the NFL a few years from now, provided that Paris Johnson and Fashanu or Alt both reach their potential. I don't think you could go wrong with either option. However, Joe Alt's 6'8" frame is making a lot of fans and scouts excited about his future. Without DJ Humphries, the Cardinals have a void at the position. They could either opt to move Paris to the left side and put their choice of Fashanu or Alt at right tackle, or vice versa. One thing to remember though is with Arizona holding picks number 27 and 35, I think it's more likely that they will wait to get a tackle down the board. Maybe Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, or a day 2 pick could be used on Kingsley Suamatia out of BYU. The idea of having the top tackle in each of the last 2 draft classes protecting Kyler Murray would be incredible. However, I just can't see it happening. The final scenario involves something that fans may not want to hear: trading down. When I suggested this in my Cardinals mock draft, I got several comments saying that they shouldn't do this, as last year the team moved out of pick 3, allowing the Houston Texans to take eventual Defensive Rookie of the Year Will Anderson Jr. However, this class is different. If Harrison Jr. isn't available at pick 4, that would mean that one of Drake May or Jaden Daniels is. And with teams such as Denver, Vegas, and Atlanta all desperate to move up to draft a franchise quarterback, Monty Ossenfort can acquire a king's ransom while still remaining in the top 15. Trading down isn't the end of the world, especially if you only move down to pick 8 with the Falcons. And in case this happens, I want fans to start getting more familiar with the name Rome Odunze. At 6'3", the wideout from the Washington Huskies is a stud. Not necessarily in the same conversation as Harrison Jr. or Neighbors for everybody, but some have Odunze ranked as the number 2 receiver, including Daniel Jeremiah. If Arizona can trade down to a quarterback-hungry team and still land Odunze, I would be very happy. Outside of the first scenario in which Arizona lands Marvin Harrison Jr., this would be my preferred outcome. Odunze had over 1,600 yards receiving this year, and he would be a great fit for this offense, especially when you look at his frame. 6'3", 215 pounds. I wouldn't necessarily take Odunze at pick 4 over Malik Neighbors, but the prospect of being able to trade down, land a day 2 pick, and possibly a first rounder next year would be great for the future of this team. Say the Cardinals trade a little further down. Odunze might not be there, however, there's a chance that one of Fashanu or Alt would be. If not, look at Talise Fuaga. Perhaps they'll opt for a corner in round 1 instead. Look at Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins, or Cooper DeJean. The bottom line is Arizona should feel like they're in the driver's seat at pick 4. And I hope fans understand and support whatever Monty decides to do. Many believe that it's Marvin Harrison Jr. or bust, and you can't deny the merit in that argument. He's been compared to Larry Fitzgerald for a reason, and he might be the best talent in the entire class. I truly believe that Arizona will land him, but if they don't, there are still a few great options that would benefit the future of this organization. If you made it this far in the video, I want to hear your take. Leave a comment ranking the scenarios best through worst. Number 1, Marvin Harrison Jr., 2, Malik Neighbors, 3, offensive tackle, Olu Fashanu or Joe Alt, and number 4 would be trading down for Odunze. Let me know in the comments how you'd rank them and what scenario you'd be most happy with being the outcome for Arizona in this draft. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as there will be plenty more draft coverage, including my first ever full 32 pick first round mock draft. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.